Alright, so if you heard part 1, you should be caught up. At that point, we had just set up the 2 packs and had extracted the save file to your memory card. Now, from that point, we would need to hook the memory card back up to the computer, either by using the in settings microSD manager or by hooking the 3DS itself back up to the internet, like that, or the SD card plugged in directly. Either one will work just fine. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and go through setting up the actual save editor and the setup for that, because it is a little bit of a tedious project. So let me go and get started with that, and we'll get everything taken care of. So you're going to need this link here for the save editor. It goes to the GameFAQs forums, which is going to be APM's post. The APM created all this. He is the owner of it. He's the one who does all this. So first thing you're going to do is just download the save editor. It's going to be a zip file. Click it. Download. It's not download. Simple as that. Open that zip. Just an APM Save Editor folder in there. Just going to drag it to your desktop. I'm going to go ahead and overwrite mine because it's a newer version. And there you go. Save Editor. Next step is going to be you go to the how to use. I'll include the link also. Let's bring up this page. The first thing you need to do is download and install Python. Just click available. And then I would recommend using the 32-bit if you have no idea what version you have to make sure you get the right one. It's just going to download installer. Sometimes it takes a minute to save, so I'll go to the next one. Grab the 32-bit version of the PyCrypto. So it's downloading. We'll run it. I already have it installed, so it's going to yell at me probably repair change. So you'll just install it. Follow the prompts to install. It's not hard. Just install like any other program. Once it's installed, it'll download and run PyCrypto. So bring up a page like this. So to find, as long as you installed the Python correctly, it's going to find this. Just say found and registry. So you'll do next. Ready to install. Next. And finish. Simple as that. So we have Python and PyCrypto. Next thing you need to do is to change your settings in the actual computer. Now, depending on what version you have for your operating system, this may be different. I'm using Windows 10 currently. The easiest way to do this is just to open your start menu and to search for it. If I can spell right. So as you see, you have the options to edit the system variables in Windows 10. It should show up in Windows 7 and Windows 8 also like this if you can. So if I go to edit, at the very bottom here you're going to have edit environment variables. Down in here, you're going to find path. You're going to click edit. On the very end, you're going to add it just like this, just as it shows on the screen. You're going to add it to the end. Don't erase anything. Don't remove anything. Just add it just like that. Click OK. Click OK. Click OK. And click OK. Back to your desktop. Now it's edited. Now, next thing you need is download these tools. Down here, bottom right, download zip. Download it. and you're just going to drag this to your desktop. I already have it there, so I'm not going to overwrite it, but you would just drag it to your desktop. Won't look any different than what I have right now. So now that you have Python, PyCrypto, and then the files for the actual moving files and decrypting and re-encrypting the files so you can actually edit it, go to the next step. So close out of here. So next thing I need to do is open the command prompt in the folder. So we'll open to add to the MHEF master. You're going to right click, open command prompt here. Now to install it, I believe it was Python setup.py install. You hit enter, and it's going to go ahead and install it. So that's installed now. So that's done. So I'll close that command prompt window. Next step is going to have you grab the user1 file from your 3DS. Now this is the point where you have to pull that file off of your 3DS again. So I'm going to go back to my screen. Alright, so we're going to go back in the settings. And of course, you can pull this file off earlier if you want to. Doesn't make a difference. I'm just doing it now. So you can go to Data Management, Micro SD Management. Alright, now since I've already connected before, I'm connected now. So you're going to go back to the network, go to your 3DS, micro, and then you're going to go to Save Backup Data. The one you want is going to be user1. You're going to copy it. My recommendation would be to create a backup file on your desktop. Backups. Go ahead and paste a version in here for a backup. So I already have a good backup, so I'm not going to do it. I recommend backing up every time before you modify anything, and keep a copy of your original one. Just rename it to something else. So you make a backup. Now you're going to come into the master folder. You're going to go into examples. You're going to go to the N3DS, and you're going to paste that file here. So I'm going to replace this one because this is an old file. I'm going to delete the user D because that will show up later. So now it's in there. Now while doing this, you can either leave your 3DS hooked up, or you can close out of the settings. Because we're going to be coming back in here, I'm just going to leave it open. Doesn't matter. So now what you're going to have to do is in this N3DS folder, you're going to open a command prompt here. Now the commands for this one are going to be in this document again. You're going to have the Python save data, D and E, and it's going to swap around user and user underscore D. So swap those two around. So what you're going to do, Python save data .pyd user1 user1. Alright, so the next part is going to be to open a command prompt at this point inside of the N3DS folder. And at this point, you're going to go ahead and type in the Python save data .py D for decrypt user1 space user1 underscore D. Now that ran. So now there's a user D here. Now I'm going to open up the save editor, and you're going to load the user1 underscore D. Now at this point, it's going to show everything in your inventory, each box, item box, pouch, guild quests, pallet goes, and then general under points, things like that. So you can edit all this. So as far as the editing values go, in the how-to, there is a link to, not the how-to, sorry, on the APM Save Editor page, there's a link to equipment values, the structure, not all the information has been discovered yet and has been put out there. But this will give you some of the basic information on how to do everything. So figuring out the values from that point and editing things are going to be up to you guys. Like I said, a lot of them are there. But for example, I'll give you one here real quick. I go to my equipment and I go to my dual blades. I have 3 different Guild Knight Sabers. This is Blast. This is Paralyze. So 07 is Paralyze, which you'll see from the other information. Max sharpness and max attack and everything here is going to be 14. I use 1F on my sharpness. It gives you a really long white sharpness bar with nothing but white. It's one little spot of red. It takes a long time for it to decrease, so less sharpening, but when it does go dull, it goes straight to red, so be careful with that. Once of course you're done modifying and saving here, you would just go ahead and save the file. Or you can save as if you want to add something different. My recommendation is to save. You want to save? Yes. Okay. Now you would go back into the command prompt. I just left mine open. Type in Python save data.py e, which is going to be re-encrypting it. user1_d user1. Now it's done. Now I went ahead and replaced the current one inside of my N3DS folder. So you're going to copy this. You're going to come back over to your save data. And you're just going to paste it back into here. Paste. Place. I'm not going to place it because I didn't make any changes. Once it's replaced, you're going to go back to your 3DS. You're going to disconnect if you're doing it this way, or put your memory card back into your 3DS. And you're going to go back to YouTube. Now for the firmware version, the correct version should still be selected, so it should just boot up automatically into the 2 packs. So change firmware version should come up for a second, and then it should go away. Let's see, it's trying to load. Alright. Didn't pick it up automatically, so I'm using new 10.0, submit. Alright. You're going to go down to the Save Manager, select Monster Hunter. Top, you're going to click B to import. I'll just click B, import 100%, done, exit, click start, A to get out of it, and now you'll just launch Monster Hunter as any normal time, and once it's open, the information you modified should be there. Like I said, always create a backup just in case something does go wrong. That way you can re-import your old save file and correct your errors. That's all. Hopefully this helps a lot of you. Have a good one.